Hello and welcome to Shimrath Plays Dark Days Ahead, Cataclysm, Episode 2. Really, sort of Episode 1, because we're just getting started. So let's get to it. Here we are in the Fallout shelter. I'm going to tear some curtains off the wall for a couple of reasons. That's the sound of me walking over things. I'm going to tear the curtains specifically off of this window. I've opened the curtains, and that brings some light in. And since these crates over here, these sort of workbench areas where I'm going to do most of my crafting and stuff, I want this area to be lit. So, there. I'm also going to tear down the curtains. Now there are curtains on the floor. I'm going to pick up the 2 sheets of curtains. There's a heavy stick, a long string, and a nail. So these are all the things that were involved in keeping these curtains up. I'm not going to pick these up. The cool thing about this game is you don't have to really be holding things to craft with them. On top of these benches are a bunch of different items. I'm just going to do a quick look around. Over here it tells me that there are some plastic bottles of clean water, nails, and then basically the stuff from the curtains. So, all right. Now that we have the curtains pulled down, we're also going to come over to these lockers and take a look around. What's over here? Some emergency jackets, emergency blankets, whistle, paper wrappers, plastic spoons, forks, things like that. There is a disposable battery and a lighter here, so those are nice things to have. All nice things to have. But what I really came over here to do is tear some stuff up. I'm basically going to start smashing some things. Oof, that was very loud. Sound is an issue in this game. In the Fallout shelter, in the evacuation center, in the shelter, I am probably okay to make as much noise as I'm making. But as you can see over here, there's a sound rating, and it says 11. That means any creature within 11 squares of where I'm making the noise can hear what's happening. So I don't think there are any zombies or creatures just directly outside, so we should be good. What we're doing is we're beating this locker with our fists. We probably should be doing it with the heavy stick that was over here, because it will be more effective. Look at this guy. He's like an astronaut or something. Mr. Blockhead, Mrs. Blockhead. We are going to get the heavy stick, and we are going to wield the heavy stick, and then we're going to go the heavy stick. It's really noisy walking up and down those benches. I'll probably end up turning the sound effects down because that's a little bit obnoxious. So let's smash. There we go. Now, if I look around where that locker was, I now see all the stuff that was in the locker, but I see a pipe, scrap metal, small metal sheets, lots of different stuff, right? And that's good. I'm also going to smash this bench right here, and I'm also going to smash this bench right here. These sound effects are very loud. Okay, then I'm going to take a quick look around, and now I see that there are some planks, nails, splintered wood, various things like that. So lots of different fun things. I wonder how... One thing I don't know about this game is if I come over here and try to start building some stuff, how close do I have to be to the junk? Let's check. This is the crafting menu. Right now I could create a throwing stick, a pointy stick, or a cudgel. Right? I have currently with me, there are, in this place currently I have a heavy stick from the curtains that I'm wielding, and I can turn it into a cudgel. Now, a cudgel has certain statistics, +2 bonus to hit, and a bash rating of 8, and moves per attack 111. The lower moves per attack, the better. That means that you can attack more often with that weapon. Right now I have just a heavy stick, and I don't actually know how effective the heavy stick is. But I imagine the cudgel's probably better, so I'm going to go ahead and build it. There it is. It's up above me. So I'm going to get the cudgel. Wow, there's 8 plastic bottles of clean water. This is a very nice shelter. I've been in some really trashy shelters in the first few playthroughs, and it's difficult. It makes things difficult. All right, what else can we make? Besides weapons and ammo and food and chemicals and electronics and armor, we could make a blindfold, a pair of sock mitts, whatever. Oops. Well, earlier I told you I was fairly familiar with the controls, but as you can see, I'm having some difficulties. I'm going to go back. As far as armor goes, this is, I don't know how to pronounce this. Okay, a type of headdress traditionally used in the Middle East. It can be used in different ways to protect the head and mouth from the elements. Now, this is important because I think it's getting cold. I think the time of the year that it is outside, it can get fairly cold. And if you're not dressed properly, you'll suffer the effects of the cold. The cold will make you unhappy, and other things will make you unhappy, and the game keeps track of whether your character is doing okay mentally or not. And you can get to the point where you just feel like fighting to survive is no longer worthwhile, and it will tell you things in the middle of a fight with a zombie, like, what's the point? Why should we even go on fighting? Rather than, let's stab this zombie with a spear and get the heck out of here. So not a good thing. You want to take care of yourself. So right now I don't think I need to make any armor or clothing items, but on the other side of things, okay, I don't think I'm close enough to the equipment that I have to use. So here's where the game becomes a bit monotonous. Oh, I've spotted a zombie. The game has something called safe mode. If you move into an area where there is danger, it automatically freezes the game. It pauses it. And you can't do anything until you say, please ignore this monster and let me move where I intended to move in the first place. This is to stop you from essentially missing the prompt that tells you there's danger and continuing to walk blindly into it and get killed. So there is a zombie. If we scroll the map in a little bit, you can see out the window, I can see in all those lit squares, and I'm going to go ahead and bring the map down to where we can see, and you can see this little character down here, and we're going to scroll in a little bit, all the way down here at the bottom of the screen. Let's move over a little bit more. There he is. It looks like a he. Looks like a nice, successful businessman with a shirt and a tie. His shirt's tucked in still, but he is a zombie and he's hostile. Fortunately, he's not aware of my presence, so I can go ahead and ignore this zombie and just continue to do what I'm doing in the factory. It's not great that there's a zombie this close to our shelter, but let's look at the overall map to get an idea why that might be. This is the overall town map. We are in the evacuation center right in the middle of the screen. I'm going to scroll down. Just very nearby, there is a regional school, which comprises this entire area. And this town is called Buxton. So this is probably why off in that direction there is a zombie. It's probably a teacher from the school or something like that, and there's likely to be a lot of zomblers. Zomblers, if you don't know, are zombie toddlers. In this game, just referred to as child zombies or zombie children. Zombie children are one of the things that can make your character's attitude and happiness level really take a dive. If you have to kill a zombie child, it's probably going to mess you up a bit, and you probably have some sad feelings about it, unless you're a sociopath. And that is an advantage that you can take in this game. You can be a sociopath, and then you're not affected by terrible events that happen to you. Over here are houses. All the little V's and less than, greater than signs are basically the peaks of houses. And any letter represents a various type of buildings. This is a fast food restaurant. This is a coffee shop. This is an abandoned warehouse. This is a parking lot. G is a grocery store. Good stuff. Now, you think, oh, how exciting. We're going to get to go and explore all these places. The entire town is going to be infested with zombies. And it's going to be very difficult to sneak into any of these places and get what we need, right? So the first thing we need to do is arm ourselves. The second thing we need to do is maybe wait until nighttime where the zombies can't see us from a distance. And we have the advantage of night vision, and we can perhaps sneak into a house, find some supplies, maybe sneak into town and do some things. That's probably a long way off, because at the beginning of this game, we're more concerned with finding some supplies and building what we need. Pardon me, I'm going to cough. That probably sounds terrible. What we're going to do is look around for something that has some carrying capacity. Even though we're a pack mule, we can still only pick up so many things. And over here, so again, it's prompting me, telling me safe mode is on. There's a zombie that's visible. Are you sure you want to move around? So I'm going to tell it to ignore that particular zombie. I'm probably wishing at this point that I had left the curtains in this window and ripped the curtains down elsewhere, so that zombie potentially, if it does come close enough, it could see us and break through the window and try to eat our brains. We'll see if that happens or not. All this stuff that I destroyed over here, I could go through the tedious task of picking up the items and carrying them over to a central location and basically making a stockpile. But what I'm hoping is going to happen here is that I'm going to find something like a backpack or a duffel bag or even an old suitcase, and I'll be able to use that to essentially haul stuff around a little bit easier. So what we're going to do now is just essentially cruise around and see what types of items we have that available to us. More plastic bottles. Plenty of drinking water so far. Over here we have emergency blankets and emergency jackets. If we wear an emergency jacket, it will give us a few more pockets to carry stuff in, but that's not exactly the kind of cargo space I'm talking about. Updating the map. No big deal. This door is locked, so we'll have to make some improvised lockpicks in order to try to get in that. There's a ladder inside there that leads up to the roof. But for now, what we're going to do is go down these stairs to the basement. Here we are in the basement. It even sounds like a basement. Now, these two little doors I know lead to restrooms. They have a lot of times first aid kits and things like that, but what I'm hoping is that out here in the basement, there's going to be something good. Glass shard, hand mirror, a teddy bear, not a backpack, not a duffel bag. Over here, a dead flare, a dust mask. I am going to pick up the dust mask simply because wearing stuff on your face helps protect you from the cold. So I'm going to wear this dust mask. It gives me a little bit more protection from the heat. And it looks like a very contemporary look, since everybody's running around wearing masks these days. Okay, no such luck. There are no backpacks laying around. Open this door, check out the bathrooms. In the bathroom, I'm going to pick up, actually I'm not going to pick it up. I am going to disassemble the first aid kit. Now that just basically opened the container and spilled all the contents out. I am also going to then get all of the stuff that was in it. Most of the stuff. Bottle of antiseptic, aspirin, bandage, medical gauze, plastic bottle of saline solution, and some medical tape. I could read the instruction booklet. If I had no medicine skill at all, it would be good to read the first aid kit instruction booklet, because there's a potential that reading it could give you a rank in, or get you closer to a rank in first aid, right? So that's that. We got some stuff we need. If I needed water, I could siphon it out of the toilets here, but there's a bunch of bottles of water in the other room. So I'm going to just quickly look at what's in here. See a scrub brush, a gallon of bleach, and bars of soap, and a whole bunch of paper. It's probably toilet paper. It can also be used to start a fire, stuff like that. So let's go back upstairs and tell Blockhead that we didn't find a backpack. Hey, Blockhead, we didn't find a backpack. So what's up? Down here on the mini map, I can see where the zombie is. Once again, I'm being prompted that the zombie is outside. I'm going to ignore it. And then as the laundry tells me that it's finished, I am going to also notice that we reached the 15-minute mark. And so we're going to go ahead and pause till episode 3. Thanks for watching.